Hello, and welcome to ENCORE, the Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, sex, and relationships. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, and also I am a playwright. Now, talking about being a playwright, my latest play is Special Delivery, and it runs at the National Theatre on the 7th and 8th of April. The times are 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Those of you on this platform who have already had the opportunity to watch it, I would appreciate your comments on that on the platform. But if you haven't, you have the opportunity, if you happen to be in Accra or anywhere within easy reach of Accra, that let's see you at the National Theatre. It will be time well spent. Now on this platform, we've been looking at various issues that affect relationship. And today, I start a two-part series on breakups. Now, part one would focus on when you are the one doing the breakup. Quite often we think that, well, he's the initiator, so he's creating a victim. But sometimes, and very often, the person initiating the breakup is as much a victim as the one who received the breakup. And then for the next episode, God willing, we'll look at when someone breaks up with you. In other words, how you can take a breakup. And I hope that you would find it useful. Now, we'll take a very short break, and when we come, we'll go straight into when you are doing the breakup, why you do it, how to do it. So, please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Roman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and TV3, presents the latest WHYTE play, Special Delivery.
Mother, your angel Sylvester tried to poison me.
Yes, you. Auntie Mary, it's not true. It's not true.
Oshata, he promised his mistress the wedding she wanted. That night, I found a brand new bottle of alcohol by my bed and realized that the seal had been tampered with. I took it to the lab for analysis, and it was laced with poison.
The poison is for the rats.
So now my daughter is a rat. Get out.
Oh, I would like to stay for lunch.
You will stay for
Special Delivery shows at the National Theatre on 31st March, 1st, 7th, and 8th April 2018 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Rates 80 Ghana Cedi. Tickets available at Joy FM, Bond Savings and Loans branches, Shell shops at Airport and Tema Community 11, Bachana and Hatcher Total, Mobile Money and all usual outlets. Hotline 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Bond Savings and Loans, Old Mutual, Zurian Multivitamin, and Calm Me Relax. Media partners: MyJoyOnline.com and AdumOnline.com. Special Delivery. Get your tickets now.
Hello, I'm happy you stayed with us. And please pass the word on to your friends and colleagues that ENCORE is on and we're going to have a very good time. Now, breakups, when you are going to do it. Let me begin with looking at why people break up. Why people break up in courtship. And then we'll look at why people break up in marriage. The two are very different relationships, and quite often what leads to a breakup in courtship may be very different from what leads up to breakup in marriage. So, why people break up in courtship? And I'm going to give you 20 points. One, I call it the season factor. The season factor. People come into our lives for a season or for a reason. And quite often, the breakup happens because the season is up. The person did not come forever. He came for a season. The problem in a lot of relationships is that we have made people who were seasonal permanent. But the point is, it doesn't matter how permanent you make them. When the season is up, they would have to move on. They would move on. And they would move on sometimes not at a conscious level, but somehow circumstances will make them move on. So sometimes it's just that the season is up. Two, the ghosts of past relationships can lead to a breakup in courtship. You come into a relationship on the back of a previous one that did not work well. And so your antenna is sharp and it's alert to pick signals. And you may be picking the wrong signals. So the ghosts of your past relationships can haunt the current one and destroy it. Three, misjudgment. You said a word you shouldn't have said. You made a move you shouldn't have done. You attended an event when you should have known better and not have gone for that event and all that. Misjudgment can also lead to it. 4, unfulfilled expectations. And now note here, the expectations could be realistic or unrealistic. It doesn't matter. As long as it is not fulfilled, that could lead to a breakup of the courtship. 5, what I call the waking up factor. That is when you wake up one day and realize, oh my goodness, what have I done? I'm in the wrong relationship. Or I'm in the relationship with the wrong person. What was I thinking? This happens often to people who are either on a rebound, they've just come out of a relationship, painful breakup, so they rush into another. But it also happens a lot to people who drink. When you drink, you wake up one day and you discover that somebody is lying by your side and you don't even know the person's name. 6, sex. Sex in courtship will destroy it. If you haven't discovered it yet, you keep making that mistake. Sex belongs to a particular type of relationship or a time in a relationship. When it comes in too early, it will destroy the relationship. 7, growth factor, what I call the growth factor, or when one party is left behind. This is where, we met and started relating at a point where both of us were at the university or had just finished secondary school. Now, I go on to the university, I go on to do a master's, and you are still just secondary school level. What is happening is that my world is getting bigger and bigger. Yours has become stagnant. And when that happens, we will find that we don't have much in common anymore, and we'll drift apart. 8, third-party factor. And this is where opposition or even comments from family, from friends, or even from a pastor can lead to a breakup in the relationship. Abuse, either verbal, physical, or emotional abuse can lead to a breakup. 10, the deception factor. This is where people enter a relationship pretending to be what they are not. Now, you can get away with pretending to be what you are not for a period. But you cannot keep up the pretense forever. And one day when the reality becomes known, your relationship is over. Because the person who the person thought he was relating to does not exist. 11, lack of respect in the relationship. When one party does not feel respected in the relationship, you don't have a relationship anymore. 12, lack of commitment or the failure to nurture the relationship. Every relationship requires commitment. It needs to be nurtured. There are steps you need to take to nurture your relationship. And it is based on commitment. And when you are not doing that, that relationship is gone. 13, fear of commitment. Fear of commitment. There are people who are just afraid to commit. So these are the people who, they are fantastic to relate to when you are not talking about dates for a marriage. The moment you get serious and say, so when are you coming to see my people? Suddenly he vanishes from your life. That person is afraid of commitment. 14, character issues. Character issues. Your beauty may attract me to you, but it's your character that will keep me there. It is my character that will keep you there. It is not how cute you are or I am. 15, stress in the relationship. When a relationship becomes stressful, either because we are always fighting, there's always misunderstanding, I'm always having to apologize, I'm always having to explain myself, my words are being twisted, I am being made to sweat even when it is raining, then that relationship is in trouble. Stress in a relationship. 16, the challenges of long-distance relationship. Long-distance relationships have a lot of issues, a lot of challenges. And when they are not handled well, the relationship is dead. 17, bogus informants. This is where people come and tell you stories about your partner. Stories that turn out to be bogus, and yet at the time, you react to it, you respond to it, you act on it, and before you realize you've killed a good thing. 18, insecurity. When you are insecure in your relationship, you may see ghosts when none exist, because you don't think you are enough. You don't think you are worthy. And when you don't think you are worthy, you will kill the relationship. 19, emotional immaturity. You know, there are people who may be in their 30s, but emotionally, they may be in their teens still. And when you relate to people like that, all kinds of things can happen. And 20, preemptive move. This is where I call it the jump before you are pushed situation, where somebody begins to see certain things happening, doesn't fully understand, and concludes that, hey, he's going to dump me. Let me dump him first. So he beats you he thinks he's beating you to the blow. When sometimes you have no intention of calling the relationship off, but he's jumped, he's gone. Now let's go on to why people break up in marriage. The 20 points were why people break up in courtships. In a lot of those things would also be valid in marriages, but there are 15 additional points. 1, affairs. Either physical or emotional affair. And these days, emotional affairs are becoming quite a big issue. But an affair can be a deal breaker and destroy a marriage. Drifting apart, too, where the two parties in the marriage are drifting apart. You know, gradually. You don't make time to talk anymore. You don't know what's going on in each other's life. You begin to develop totally different interests, and your lives don't cross at any point. So your home becomes a hotel or a guest house where you come for breakfast. You come for bed and breakfast, and then that is it. Drifting apart. Disrespect. Again, as in courtship, when somebody feels disrespected in a relationship, it's gone. 4, lack of intimacy and attention. Lack of intimacy. Your partner, you are in the relationship because you wanted some level of intimacy. And note, I am not talking about lack of sex. I'm talking about the whole thing, affection, attention. Lack of intimacy can kill the relationship. 5, like in courtship, unfulfilled expectations, and that's why you always need to continue discussing and negotiating expectations. 6, like in courtship, abuse, verbal, emotional, and physical. 7, demands of career. This is where both of us or one party is rising in the career, and it is the career is making side demands upon that person. Some positions in certain career, once you get there, your life is in trouble because some careers are such jealous wives. They don't allow for any rival. 8, money issues. Money issues. Either the lack of money or the plenty of money. Sometimes when one party comes into too much money, it kills the relationship. It's a funny thing. When there's no money, it kills the relationship. When there's too much of it, it kills the relationship. How somebody handles the money also kills the relationship. 9, childlessness, especially in Ghana. You marry and there are no children. Sometimes the family will come and destroy the marriage when there's no child. 10, the stress of raising children. You know, no children, trouble. Children too, wahala. You know, the stress of raising children, especially when your partner is not supportive. It's not helping with the chores of raising children. And this happens a lot when the children are in their infancy. It could create such a stress on the relationship. 11, economic challenges. I'm traveling. There's a great opportunity somewhere. We are in Accra. Opportunities are drying up, but I've heard there's a fantastic opportunity in Takwa or some place like that. Chrissy, please check the monitor. I think there is a message on it. There's a message on it, so attend to it whilst I continue. 12, sexual performance. Sexual performance. If you are married please learn to have sex. Learn how to do it proper. Learn it. Because if children were born from how good the sex is, a lot of marriages will be childless. So let's learn. Then interference of third parties. Again, here, family, friends, exes. We are married, but the ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend is creating problems. New contestants who come in and cause trouble. And these days, pastors. A pastor who says that your spouse is a witch, or your spouse's mother is a witch. I would applaud any pastor who comes up and says that your wife's father is a wizard. We never hear that. It's always the woman. Church, those are third-party interferences. 14, unresolved issues that are permitted to pile up. Unresolved issues that are permitted to pile up. In a relationship, in a marriage, if you don't make time to resolve issues, no matter how petty as they come, they will pile up and one day they will blow up on your faces. And finally, spiritual attacks. There are spiritual attacks. There are spirits that will kill a good relationship. And that's why if you are married, you've got to learn to pray. Now let's go on to why people who should break up never do. There are people who should have broken up, either in courtship or in marriage, but they haven't done so. And the relationship is not quite what it should be because it shouldn't have been permitted to go this far. 1, lack of courage to take the step. 2, the fear of being alone. 3, the unwillingness to start all over again. You've courted with this, you've related to this person for 5 years. And then you discover that, this relationship really, we're kidding ourselves. There's no future for it. 5 years of your life. Are you now going to start over? Yes, start over. Because it's better than destroying the rest of your life. 4, fear of your partner's reaction. There are people who should walk away, but they dread how their partner will react. This happens a lot in cases where you owe your partner, where your partner has helped you or set you up. Then you are free to move on. 5, sometimes people stay on because of wrong counsel. Somebody has told them, oh, hold on, when they should have told them, look, move on. 6, they are trapped by their own promises and assurances. When you tell people, I will never leave you, then you realize you have to leave. Then it becomes issue because you remember, I have said that, look, your previous relationships, the people were twerps. That's why they treated you that way. Then you go in and realize why they were twerps. That the bigger twerp is the person you are relating to, and now you have to run away, and it becomes difficult when you are trapped by your promises. 7, unwillingness to acknowledge that you've made a mistake. You've made a mistake, but everybody told you what you were doing was a mistake, and you damned all of them. Now, it dawns on you, yes, it is a mistake, but you look at all the people you told to go to hell, and are you going to join them in hell? Because that's where you send them. Fear of what people will say. 8, you've made so much noise about the relationship. Now, you wonder, if I walk away. 9, living with false hopes. Oh, it will be well. I think our national pledge should have had these lines. Ghanaians live in false hope. Oh, it will be well. It will be well. Well, sometimes it won't be well, and you've got to advise yourself. And 10, pressure from third parties who come to beg and plead. It's difficult. There are people who, as soon as you make the move to break up, then all kinds of people. Chrissy, please give me visual. All kinds of people come and they begin to plead and beg on their behalf, and then you begin to think that, oh, did I do wrong? Should I give him another chance? And things like that. And quite often, those people plead more than the person you are breaking away from. he seems cool, and then everybody comes and they put so much pressure on you. Now, I will need to take a short break because thanks to Chrissy, I have no visuals for my presentation. So we'll be right back, please.
Roverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and TV3, presents the latest WHYTE play, Special Delivery.
Mother, your angel Sylvester tried to poison me.
Yes, me? Auntie Mary, it's not true. It's not true.
Oh, shut up. He promised his mistress the wedding she wanted. That night, I found a brand new bottle of alcohol by my bed and realized that the seal had been tampered with. I took it to the lab for analysis, and it was laced with poison.
The poison is for the rats.
So now my daughter is a rat? Get out.
Oh, I would like to stay for lunch.
You will stay for
Special Delivery shows at the National Theatre on 31st March, 1st, 7th, and 8th April 2018 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Rates 80 Ghana City. Tickets available at Joy FM, Bond Savings and Loans branches, Shell shops at Airport and Tema Community 11, Bachana and Hatcher Total, Mobile Money and all usual outlets. Hotline 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Bond Savings and Loans, Old Mutual, Zurian Multivitamin, and Calm Me Relax. Media partners: MyJoyOnline.com and AdumOnline.com. Special Delivery. Get your tickets now.
Well, let me apologize for the break. It was because my visuals just vanished, so I was left totally naked, and I had to go and cover myself. Now, let's talk about don'ts, what you shouldn't do when you are breaking up in a relationship. Look, breaking up is a fact of life, but sometimes the way you do it makes it either a bigger issue than it ought to be or not. And so let's look at the things you shouldn't do when it comes to breakup. And I'm going to give you 14 points. 1, don't be hasty with a decision to break up. Too many people are too quick to break up. Don't be hasty to walk away. Give it the most you can before you move. 2, don't use breakup as a mere threat. You know, there are people you are relating with them, every little thing. All right, then let's call it off. All right, let's call it off. Meanwhile, they don't mean it. Listen, if you use let's call it off as a threat, one day your threat will be your bluff will be called. Let's call it off. All right, if you are saying, if you are complaining, all right, then let's call it off. Okay, yeah, we've called it off. Then what? So don't use it as a threat. 3, when you have to break up, don't use a phone or a text message. Be decent enough to do it face to face. Don't use phone. And 3 and 4, don't use a third party. Don't send your friend to go and tell your partner that, you know, we have broken up. Don't do that. You are in the relationship. Be bold enough and decent enough. The least you can do is to do it yourself. 5, don't insult your partner as you walk away. You know, you are going away. So this is not the time to tell me my faults. Walk away. Leave me alone. You know. And there are people who, when they are walking away, it's almost as if they are giving the dog a bad name so they can hang it. If you decided that you and I, we can be together, move. Don't tell me, and you snore crowded, and you don't even know how to cook. Well, so what? Go. 6, don't leave the person to find out for themselves that there's no relationship. There are people who have broken up with you, but they haven't told you. And they are hoping that you will discover that they have broken up with you. Oh, not good. It's not fair. I mean, let the person know. 7, don't damage the self-image of your partner as you work, as a revenge. You are hurt by something, so you destroy the person before you go. Don't do that. 8, make sure you are not sucked back into the relationship by hanging around after you've broken up with someone. There are people who break up with you, with somebody, and the next day they are calling to find out, how are you doing? If I'm home, it's none of your business. Leave me. You've killed me. You've shattered my world. What does it matter? Listen, all of you. If you throw a frog over a wall, you should not be concerned where it falls. So don't call the person the next morning and stay around from time to time. I'm checking on you. You're checking on me? No, leave me alone. If you're breaking up, let the breakup be clean. 9, don't put the breakup on social media. I know your generation puts everything on social media, but breakups, don't put it there. You don't owe it to anybody. It's ended, you move on with your life. 10, don't be taken in with promises of change. Sometimes there are people, as soon as you break up with them, for the first time, every complaint you've ever made, they want to do something about. Okay, you say, I come home late, I'll come home early. You say, I don't call you, I'll call you 10 times a day. You know, it is insulting. You knew you could do all this, and you waited for the relationship to get to this point before now you're making those promises to change. 11, please don't be cruel with your breakup. Breakups are nasty. They are painful. Don't make it even more painful than it is. So don't be cruel with your breakup. 12, don't send missed messages. Look, have we broken up or we haven't broken up? You know, there are people who have broken up with you and they say, let's take a break and review. Let's go and reflect on our relationship. What does that mean? Are we breaking up? If we are breaking up, don't send missed messages. And then there are people who have broken up with you, but they are always in your house. What are you doing there? Every time they are coming. Then there are people who have broken up with you and they want to sleep with you. You know, don't stop sending the missed messages. If you've broken up with me, you break up and go away. 13, don't mind those who come pleading for your partner after a breakup. They are not the people you were married to. You were married to this person, and in all possibility, he is not even pleading. And 14, don't react to how your partner takes the news of the breakup. Listen, if you step on someone's shoes, the person reserves the right to just say, Ajay, or to slap you, or to push you away. However the person reacts, don't complain about how he reacted, because if you haven't stepped on the foot, he wouldn't have had to react. So when you drop the news of the breakup, how the person reacts to it is none of your business. Just take it. Keep quiet and suffer. So if the person decides to insult you and all your ancestors, just keep quiet and take it. Don't say, you see this is what. No. Just take it and go away. Now, let's talk about how to reduce your chances of a breakup. And I'm going to give you 20 points very quickly. How to reduce your chances of a breakup. 1, don't rush into your relationship. Don't rush into it. Then you reduce the chances. When your move into a relationship is based on careful consideration and with having given it a lot of time, you reduce the chances that you are now going to go and say, let's break up. 2, marry a friend. Build a friendship before you build a romance. 3, deliberately decide to marry. Don't marry under pressure. And this goes especially to ladies. In your late 20s and 30s, there will be a lot of pressure on you by people who should know better. Oh, you're not worried. Hurry up and get married. And I have a simple formula for all ladies. I say, when people are putting pressure on you to get married, ask them, give me direction to the husband's store, a store where they sell husbands, and I'll go and buy 2. 4, make the effort to understand the opposite sex. If you don't understand the opposite sex, you will mess up even a good relationship. 5, be faithful in your relationship. 6, be appreciative. Be somebody who expresses gratitude. 7, be yourself. Don't be a fake. 8, be clear what you will not accept in the relationship and be clear about it early enough in the relationship. There are things that you know, this thing, I don't like it, but you think it's early days here, so let's wait. No. Speak about it now. So if the person comes home late and you're not happy, tell them, hey, cool. No, you can't be coming home late, especially when you don't tell me why you are coming late. 9, don't take your partner for granted. 10, have a life outside your relationship, but let your relationship remain your priority. So have a full life, but keep this relationship as your full priority. 11, Learn to meet the needs of your partner. And where you can't meet those needs, please talk about it and negotiate. So your partner knows where he stands. Then it doesn't become like you are deliberately not fulfilling my needs. 12, make the effort to understand the expectations of your partner. 13, be nice with his friends or her friends and the family. Be nice. Sometimes friends can help you keep your relationship going through the difficult times. 14, seek counsel before you marry. Let me amend that. Seek counsel before you start courtship. Seek counsel, because sometimes the counsel will even help you whether you are ready or what kind of person you should be dating to. 15, learn to be great with intimacy, or become an expert with intimacy. 16, nurture yourself. In other words, love yourself. 17, get rid of all negative energy around you. There are people with too much negative energy around them. They are nagging, they are whining, they are complaining, they are criticizing. Negative energy. When you have negative energy around you, nobody enjoys being around you, especially for in the long term. 18, learn from your previous relationships. Learn from them. Let them educate you. 19, don't bring any emotional baggage from your previous relationships into the current one. And 20, discover your partner's love language and learn to speak it. Those of you who are regular on this, you know we have 5 love languages. It's the topic of one of the presentations we've done. So go look at it and study it. Now, how to break up in a courtship. 7 points. And I'm coming to the end of my presentation. 1, recognize that there's no painless way of doing this. Don't expect it to be easy or painless. There's no way you can break up with somebody and it will be easy. It would be painful, one way or the other. So let's get it on with. 2, do it in person. 3, don't put the person down before you walk away, or don't be nasty about it. 4, stay away after the breakup. Make it clean. As soon as you announce it, get lost. Get lost. Get lost for a period until the person recovers. And then when you can talk without pain, that would be good to become friends at that point. 5, if the two of you have a counselor or a mentor, get that person to help you through this phase. And sometimes you could let the person call the two of you and help you navigate this very difficult and painful aspect of a relationship. 6, pick your timing carefully. Please, never break up with somebody on the birthday, because you've messed that person's birthdays up. Every birthday, instead of jubilating, he's remembering what you did. So don't do that. A friend of mine's girlfriend broke up with him just when he had come out of the operating theater. He had been operated on. He's wheeled into the recovery ward, and the girlfriend comes, and he's excited because, oh, yeah, my girlfriend has come to visit me after my operation. And then the girl comes, oh, by the way, I just came to tell you that I'm going to get married. Our relationship is over. Don't do that. Please, please, please. And 7, pick the place carefully. Don't break up when the person you are breaking up from is driving. Both of you will go into it. Pick the place carefully. I recommend that you do it in a public place, like in a restaurant. Because what that happens is that the person's reaction would have to be muted. And if the person gets violent, there are people there to save you, to take you out of the place. How do you break up in a marriage? 7 points. Seek counseling. 2, make provision for the upkeep of your partner. Don't just walk out of a marriage. Look, it's in Ghana and third world countries that divorces are cheap. Go to the developed countries. Divorce is expensive. So please, don't just walk out of a marriage until you've made adequate provision for the upkeep of your partner before you announce it. 3, discuss what what is going to happen to the children, the two of you, before you do the breakup. Discuss. We have children. What happens to them? 4, brief the children adequately, because in a sense, they would pay the dearest price for your breakup. 5, seek legal help. Bring a lawyer in to help the two of you out and to draft the breakup properly. 6, respect the culture and traditions. If you are breaking up from a marriage, you are ending a marriage in Ghana, the culture is that you send your people to that person's people to go and announce. Do it well. Don't say, get out of my house and leave your wife or your husband to go and tell his people that I have been thrown out. The marriage is ended. No. Do what is right and what is fair. 7, please don't let the children suffer as a result of the breakup. In other words, support them. They provide for them their school fees, where they will sleep, what they will eat, do all that. Well, that is part 1 of breakups in relationships. In this part, I have concentrated on when you are the one initiating the breakup for whatever reason. In the next episode, God willing, we'll look at when you are the one it has been done to. When you are the one who is more or less the victim of the breakup. Well, I hope this has been useful. We'll take a little commercial break, and when we come back, I'll take your questions and your comments, and then let the interaction on the platform begin. Well, thank you.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle WHYTE at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO and Artistic Director of Rogoman Production. What matters now is that I am... Well, thank you very much for staying with us. I don't take your the investment you make in data and time for granted. So thank you for staying with me. Now, let's have the interaction.
Uncle, please, my boyfriend says he has broken up with his ex.
Come again?
Please, my boyfriend says he has broken up with his ex, which I find it hard to believe because she keeps posting his pictures on her WhatsApp status with love emojis. I approached him about it and he ignored it. The same thing happened. In fact, they communicate and I complain. He told me he can't afford to make enemies. Finally, I got fed up and decided to leave the relationship. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a mild exchange of words. Getting to the tail end of the argument, he said I don't respect him because I have traveled outside the country before and he hasn't. Also, I have a job and he hasn't. Uncle, it pained me to the core. His brother's girlfriend told me to relax and not quit because we both love each other. I am confused.
Oh, I'm sorry about this. This is typical misunderstanding that because one party did not handle well has been blown out of proportion. I wish that when you were expressing your concerns about his closeness to the ex, he had been much more careful to assure you of where you stand vis-a-vis the ex, and also taking steps to break away from the ex. It's unfortunate when we allow our exes to become rivals of the current person that we are relating to. It is not wise, and I think we should stop doing it. I'm sorry you've had to go through this.
Lucy says, ha ha ha, husband store, I just can't stop laughing.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Ask them, where is the husband store? I'll go and buy two.
And then a message on WhatsApp says, thank you, Uncle, for being around all this time for us. My issue is on the third parties, particularly some of the current pastors and prophets. They keep putting fear into people's hearts and minds. This has become a big challenge to many relationships.
It has. And not just relationships, even professions and careers. But the key is that, listen, don't blame the pastor, because you see, pastors don't force anybody to come to them. We go to them. And if you go to a pastor and you yourself don't have a spiritual life, you yourself don't take the time to read and to pray, then you've made yourself vulnerable. You have become somebody who can be preyed upon. So protect yourself by learning to pray, get into the scriptures, and discover what God's mind and God's will is for yourself.
From Abby, how do you remedy such a situation where you don't say it's over but you move on?
Say it is over, please. Let the person know it's over. Let the person know it's over.
From Franklin, Uncle, how can you be faithful in a relationship if they can date more than one person? From your earlier submission.
Now, dating, yes, the person can be dating, but once it gets into courtship, then that is where the issues are. Now, well, about WHYTE ye play, ENCORE, I bought tickets, let's go and be my companion for the evening. What's he saying? You want faithfulness? Faithfulness from the where? No, you want faithfulness, then let's define the relationship. Let's take it to where faithfulness can come in. But Kabute, who never hosts a party, that's a party, is having a party once in his life, and come along, let's go. You say waiting. No, please. You want faithfulness, move it into courtship.
All right, on WhatsApp again. Uncle, I'm Nanaya from Germany. My girlfriend, whom I have a child with, is a white woman. It's been 3 years since we've been together, but trust me, things are not working for us. We've tried as much as we can, seeking for help elsewhere, going through counseling, but to no avail. Later, we decided to break up, but my girlfriend told me she can't take care of the child, neither does she want to give the child to me. It has been war and fighting. We are two different people altogether. I'm really confused on what to do now. Please advise.
Yeah, no. There's a difficult situation now. She can't take care of the child.
But she won't also give the child.
But she won't, because she sees the child as a way to manipulate you, as a way to control you. No, this is difficult. This is really, really difficult. How does the law work there? Can you do the research and find out that if you decided to make this a civil case, what are your chances of getting the child, custody of the child? And then let the law help you in this.
All right. Ancestor Soa says, please, but it's not advisable for a Christian to divorce because biblically it's against God's will.
Do you have any idea how many things are biblically against God's will, but we do? Polyester is against God's will. Some relationships, I believe it's also not God's will that you should stay. If the person is become abusive, physically especially, and your life is at risk, your children are seeing you being beaten every day, you think it is God's will for you to stay in a relationship like that? I don't think so.
Aramide Lawal says, Uncle, is it acceptable to end it through a text if all attempts to meet up is being avoided?
Why is he avoiding? He sees his cam. Clever boy. No, then instead of the text saying, let's break up, let the text say that I need to see you. We need to meet. We need to talk. And let's see what his reaction is. If he doesn't respond to that, then of course he's asked for it. So then treat him like a text person.
From Chris. Broken up with a lady I fell head over heels in love with to the extent of divorcing my wife for her. Life wasn't going well as expected with her, so I've left her for my divorced wife again. I don't even drive on the street in front of her house because I know I might trigger something else. The problem is a friend says I should keep an open window there, for it is not good to cut off an ex totally. Is the friend right?
No comments. Please, let's take another thing.
From Frankie's. Uncle, I am having a long distance relationship. My girlfriend and I used to quarrel very often. I still love her and we are preparing to get married very soon. However, I can't trust her fully. I sometimes feel she is not into me or she's having a different guy. What should I do?
Well, there's a double-edged sword, though. If you don't trust somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the person's fault. It is possible that you have insecurity issues. So check that first. And then talk through your suspicions with your partner and see. At this point, it may also be useful to bring in friends, because her friends will know what's up. So see what you can do. It's one of the occasions where being nice to her friends can help you greatly.
An anonymous message on WhatsApp says, your boyfriend breaks up with you because of the pain you caused him in the past. You personally told him that you cheated on him and did everything to make it right. He forgives you, and after a long while, you tell him about a new friend you have made in your department. He wants you to cut him off, and because you refuse, he breaks up with you. How do you deal with that?
Oh. You know, if you live in a house and you confess that the meat in the soup that vanished was from you, you caused it to vanish, then the next time something is missing in the house, of course, you are the automatic suspect. Because of their past, you yourself, I think you shouldn't have made the move of getting close to this party. Your track record is not one that would inspire confidence, and you haven't done anything to inspire that confidence. And I would advise that you yourself try and seek help, because it's possible you are one of those people who go into the adrenaline of falling in love and going from one relationship into the other. Because if there's nothing here, when your boyfriend said, look, I'm not comfortable because of our history, so put a distance between you and your colleague, why didn't you do it? Yeah, let's go on, please.
From Echo, what do you do when she always wants to pay when you go out or buy something and this ends up in a fight? To me, I think taking money from her is not cool and will lose her respect, but she thinks I don't want to be helped and always refusing to take help from her. What do I do?
Hey, Echo, you're a proper Ghanaian, Papa. Yeah. Half of the boys in the studio now are insulting you because they're wishing, where did we pass? Why won't ladies like that pass our way? You know? Echo, forgive me. I'm making light of the situation. The reality is that there's nothing wrong with it. If that's the way she wants to express her place in the relationship, then that's fine. But I hope that at a certain point, the two of you will get a counselor to help you. We need to understand why she also feels she must pay. It is possible that there are issues in her own background that makes her want to do that. So the two of you have some talking to do. But for now, when she wants to do it, let her help. But there are also ways in which you can do it. For instance, if you don't want her to pay when you go to a restaurant, then don't wait till the bill comes. You know, go ahead. Just say I'm going to the washroom. Go to the desk and find out what's our bill here. This is it. So that it's not a bill that comes, but a receipt that comes. But you may have. Maybe you are being blessed with a wonderful girl and you're not appreciating that. But I can tell you, the boys here think that, ENCORE, you too.
Nesbitt says, Uncle, you have to come up with ENCORE stickers. Oh. Some of us can use it for our relationship.
ENCORE what?
Oh, Uncle, there's some stickers trending in town. We'll update you later.
All right, okay. Well, as you can see, I'm totally lost with stickers. So hopefully they would update me on that.
From Aramide, is it okay to initiate a breakup when it's clear the person has broken up with you, but just won't tell you because they know you have done nothing wrong, so they grow distant till you decide to end it?
Could he talk with the person to find out? Tell the person what's happening. This is the way I see it. Is it the way I'm seeing it? Because sometimes jumping to conclusions, what would you do when a year down the line you realize you were wrong? So talk with the person. Get the person to commit to say it.
From Nakai on YouTube, Uncle, please, when communication is very poor in a distance relationship, what do you do? Especially when you don't understand each other.
That's always a difficult question because sometimes you do not know the circumstances of the person out there, either be the man or the woman out there. Especially our Ghanaians who go out there without a proper documentation. They are running away from police. Now with Trump on the scene, they are running away from being captured. There are people who can't pick their calls. They don't even have a phone. So because they don't want to be traced. And they are running from one state to the other and things like that. So sometimes it pays to understand what is going on first before you decide what you need to do.
From Benedicta, Uncle, is it possible that your boyfriend can love you and still love another? He convinces you of not having anything to do with her again, despite the fact that you saw their love chats together lately. He says he has called it quits, but yet you see them chat. Should you be worried?
Yeah, you should be worried. If you called it quits, why are they still chatting? Why are they chatting? So, yes, you should be worried. And have a chat. And if the answers you are getting does not convince you, maybe it may be time for you to review your options.
Lord says, good afternoon, Uncle.
Hi.
I am to select between two women. One is schooling and the other is working. The one working says she is not ready, and the schooling one says she is. But the problem is her maturity is not ample. I really want to be with the working lady, but she is not ready.
What's the name?
Advice, please. Lord.
Oh. Lord, why are you doing this to me? Eh? Lord, why are you doing this to me? Why are you throwing this dilemma to me? Well, all I'll say is that lucky you. But please take your time and make the decision carefully and quickly before it backfires on you.
From Sefako, Uncle, can your ex be your friend? Since we broke up, he keeps coming into my life, pretending to be caring and telling me about his relationships. Today he's in a relationship and tomorrow he's single. He just won't move on.
I don't think it's your spouse, your ex who is not moving on. You haven't moved on. That's why he can reach you. That's why he can come and talk. What do you care about his relationships being up and down? You have not moved on. So you move on and let him know, look, it's over. Leave me alone.
On WhatsApp. Hi, uncle. Thanks for educating us. I am no more with girlfriend, but we are not enemies. We do talk once in a while. Recently, I realized she is with another man, so I gave her distance for months now because I don't want to ruin her happiness.
Yeah.
That's if she is. Recently, she started communicating with me again, but I don't want to be rude to her. What other way can I use?
Well, fortunately for you, your modern communication gadgets, you can do all kinds of things to your phone. There are things you can do to a particular number. You know, so do that. Because is she doing a comeback? You didn't indicate that you haven't moved on. You don't have another relationship. So why is she playing with your heart? Protect yourself and focus on your own move. If she's moved on, let her move on.
Uncle, I haven't heard from him in 3 months after an argument on the phone. I guess I have to assume it's over because we are in a long distance relationship.
Wow. Oh. This is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. 3 months. 3 months. Would you be surprised that the day you decide to move on, that day he will call you? Those are the uncomfortable positions that some people put us. Ask him what is going on. Send him a message and ask, hey, I haven't heard from you in 3 months. What's going on?
Yeah. So, Uncle, based on my earlier stated issue, as it stands now, we have broken up. And we both have fully accepted. Should I or can I wish him a happy birthday, which is just some weeks away?
Ekuya, move on. You have moved on. Don't mind him.
Uncle, somebody's asking if the relationship started by text. Yes. Why can't it end by text?
And there was a relationship? How was that? How was that a relationship? By text. So you wake up, good morning. Then good morning. Let's meet at Uncle Bohwai's show. All right, we'll meet at Uncle Bohwai's show. Then you get there. Are you here? Yes, I am here. All right. Are you enjoying the show? I'm enjoying the show. All right, we've closed. I'm going home. So see you. All right. See you. And then are you home? Is that what we're talking about here?
No. It just started. The will you be my girlfriend was by text.
Yeah, that's it.
And then a relationship started.
Yes.
Oh, respect the relationship. Yes, respect the relationship. Were you kissing by text?
2 million eyeballs. Oh, that must be some kiss. Good afternoon, Uncle. I'm courting a gentleman for a couple of years now. We've had an argument and didn't speak for over a month. He checked on me a couple of times, and I finally thought we needed to sort things out. We met and trashed it out. At the end of the meeting, he asked if I still loved him, and I responded I did. When I asked him same, he said he wasn't sure. We went agreeing we wanted to work out everything. I have tried to get us to go for counseling, but he cannot find time. I'm trying my best, but he's taking his time. Do I assume he isn't interested but cannot let me know?
It is possible he is. So that's a dilemma. Because if you went to him and said, look, your actions tell me it's over, so I'm moving on, then he can now say, oh, you see, you broke up with me. If you don't also do that and you decide to move on, then he's going to say, you know, you are cheating. That's why this relationship, he's putting you in a no-win situation, and it's unfortunate. I'll tell you this. Pray for wisdom to know how to handle this, and whatever occurs to you, do it. After you pray, do it. Act on it. And I think it will be the right one.
Follow up from the 3 months
Yes.
silence confirmation. She said, Uncle, he doesn't want to talk to me until he's ready to do so. At least that was made clear.
Please, let me make an appeal to all those who are in a relationship and who, when it takes their fancy, can decide that I am putting you on a news blackout. I will talk to you when I am ready to talk to you. When you are in a relationship and you call it a relationship, you don't have that option. Don't say, I'll talk to you when I am ready. What do you mean? We are two in the relationship. On whose term is the readiness? So, and how long would you be ready? Why has it taken you 3 months? I mean, that's not cool. That's not cool. And it only happens because when one party is eager for the relationship. And one of these days we'll talk about why nobody should. If you are not married, don't chase it. Because when you chase marriage, that's why people do it, this kind of things to you. And it's always painful and it's unfortunate. So he's not treating you right. That's what I can say. He's not treating you right.
From Benedicta, Uncle, is it okay to be cleaning, washing, and all for your boyfriend when you are not married yet?
Benedicta, I think you've answered the question. Boyfriend, girlfriend, when not married yet. If he needs you to clean and cooking and things like that and warming his bed, tell him to go and see your people quickly, and it will be fine. All right, I think our time is up. We have a few more questions, so let's take 2 more minutes. Let's see.
Okay. Hi, I'm Candice. I have a boyfriend whom I've tried for so many years to love, but things are still the same. Now I'm falling in love with my best friend who also has a girlfriend. We want to be together, but we both have someone. What should I do?
Oh, Candice. Okay, general principles. I believe that when people are not married, especially if the relationship hasn't become stabilized, then it is an election. It is campaigning, and every candidate should come and put out the manifesto, and let's see whether you get the vote. That's my general principle. But your situation is a very interesting one. My fear is this: the two of you may go your separate ways, and none of you would have a good relationship. That's what I fear. Beyond that, I'm afraid to say more.
Okay, a follow-up from the guy in Germany who's with a white woman, yes.
Yeah, Nana.
So he says, the law is definitely not by my side. We have 50-50 rights over the child, but the law clearly says unless otherwise the woman has a problem before the child can be given to me. I'm really scared what will happen to my child if I leave him alone with her. I was also a victim of my parents separating when growing up, and I don't want that for my child.
Yes.
I told her to bring in her parents, but she refused. Later, I told her I will inform her parents myself, but she got wild. Please advise.
I think go to the parents, because you are desperate. You want so now all options are on the table. So don't limit yourself. Apparently, she doesn't want to be reasonable about this, and she knows how much you care for your child, and now she's using it heavily against you.
From Nakai, sorry. Uncle, please, would you advise a long-distance relationship for young adults? I'm only 23, and it seems unbearable.
Nah, it is always unbearable. Even when you are 40, it will still be unbearable. There are challenges, so please educate yourself on that. I think we would have to end it here. We'll have to end it here. I'm grateful that you've been patient when we went a bit over the time. I hope it's been useful to you. God willing, in the next episode, we will look at how to take a breakup. Until then, may God keep and sustain you. Remember, special delivery, my latest play is at the National Theatre this weekend. That's on the 7th and 8th of April at the National Theatre, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. If you are anywhere around Accra, hope to see you. Stay blessed, and may God keep you.
Some bottles are flat like clay.
Some bottles are flat like clay.
Some bottles are long like train.
Some bottles are long like trains.
Some bottles are round like the camel's balls.
Some bottles are round like the camel's balls.
Some are just shapeless. And some are just shapeless. Some bottles are round like the camel's balls. And some are just shapeless, just shapeless. Second stanza. Our dearest warden, our dearest warden, your face is like a cow. Your face is like a cow. And we say to you respectfully, and we say to you respectfully, that please your mother, that please your mother. And we say to you respectfully, that please your mother, your mother. And the church shall say amen.
Hello, they call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become